How you doing? It's Ubi back with another IPG Sims 4 challenge. Now this one's going to be a little different than the ones that you've seen myself and Brandy and Metzi doing in the past couple of weeks. This one is going to be a multiple week challenge. Now each week we're going to build upon what we built the week before. Now obviously we're starting fresh here, so there'll be nothing that we're building off of, but next week's challenge will be built off of this one, and the week after that will be built off that, and so forth. It's going to be multiple weeks, so be sure if you do this that you save your file. And I also suggest using save as, so you can save each week as a different file, so maybe you can go back and look, or maybe if you need to edit something or those sort of things. And it's always just a good idea to keep backups. So on to the challenge. This week's challenge is going to be your living room. We're going to start in the living room, usually the heart and soul of most houses. I'm setting in mine right now. And it's going to be a challenge where there's not going to be a lot of restrictions on it. The only real restriction on this one is that it's going to be limited to 6,500 simoleons. That means that when you're done with this challenge, the lot value, if you go to save it to the gallery, should be 6,500 or less simoleons. There are a couple of requirements for it. You must have a sofa, at least one. You must have a love seat or seat, an actual, standard seat that you would find inside of a living room. You must have one table. You must cover your walls and floors, and you have to have lights. That's it. Otherwise, you are allowed to use any content you have, any content packs you have. Custom content is also allowed, as well as any of the build mode cheats to move things around or to unlock reward items. Those are all perfectly fine as long as you fit under budget and have the required items. So, without further ado, let's take a look at my build. All right, so here I've been setting everything up, turning on testing sheets, setting my amount of money, and getting the build mode move object sheets on. So initially, my thought for the build was to go big, go huge, go grand. So I built this, large rectangle kind of to start with. Walls cost money though. You can see we're already down to, under 4,000. All I've done is just put some exterior on it. I kind of went with a brick feel to it with the lighter color bricks, and there was a really nice door. We went with the mid-size walls here. I really like that double door there. So that one actually stayed, even though we made a lot of other changes on the outside here. The stairs, I wasn't terribly happy with those stairs, to be honest, but they kind of matched, and so they kind of got left in there. I didn't really want to play with those for too long. So we started playing around with ideas for windows here. That's a really neat tool there where you can have it place a room of windows at a time. I like using that to kind of get an idea of if I'm going to like the windows or not. Went with kind of a lighter blue interior. I was going with my builds tend to be kind of monochromatic for the interior, so I actually decided to go with a pick a color and stick with it, which I went with blue. Now at this point, you see me shrinking down massively. I realized I had no money to actually build the interior, so the living room went from this massive, really big space down to this tiny space. Yeah, that was a little bit too grandiose for my thinking. And that door, you'll see, got replaced. I really liked it, but it was like 500 simoleons. So we went with the cheaper door that was only like 50. So to put a little more money back into it. Now I decided to go with kind of a not really rustic, but a not really antique either, but kind of an older style for the interior. Not anything new, not anything like the Euro styles. Kind of something that you would find comfortable maybe at grandma's house, those sort of things. I like that floor lamp a lot. I actually use it when I use floor lamps more often than others. And I decided, since I couldn't afford a big TV, I thought maybe a good focal point would be the fireplace. Kind of have that feeling of, the comfortable seating area up around the fireplace where you sit there with family and friends. Maybe you're reading a book, maybe you're sitting on the couch, you're reading a nice book, you have a cat curled up next to you purring while it's raining, which, as you see, it's raining out there. So I kind of went with that. We went a little smaller because I needed a little more funds as well. But then I found out that with that two-size door, I had an odd number on that side, so we actually rotated the whole thing around so I could find a place to put the door in. I really wanted to add in a side table between the two of them to kind of tie the seating together. And I took that table and I shrunk it down. Didn't really think about how badly it's going to look once I put things on top of it. So that actually comes to bite me behind a little later. Made sure to get a little plant in there. Definitely want some sort of plants in there. And I was gonna go with a little bit of plant there. Didn't realize that it's kind of hard to tell right here at this angle. But that's actually floating because it thinks the table is up here, and I made it smaller, and the table's down there. So that ended up being, we didn't want the alien plants floating in the room. So an umbrella, it was raining, and I was like, we need an umbrella stand. This is where I recognized, oh wait, that's kind of floating there. I don't know what's going on with that. So actually, at this point, I alt-tabbed out. It's not frozen. I alt-tabbed out to look at ways to address that, and I couldn't find one. That's where I realized it was the table. Put the table back to normal size, resized everything in there. It's all good. And have about 600 simoleons left now to put some decorations in. I thought a good centerpiece there, kind of tied together with that bluish color, which I'm using kind of throughout the theme in here. The books on the table there, as I was talking about, kind of a book thing. And then I was like, okay, we need to find some windows that work with this. Those were really neat, but if you look closely at those windows, the wall is doing this weird clipping thing with them. And I didn't recognize it until later. So I saw it there, I'm like, what in the world? So I picked them up, placed them down, it went away. I was like, oh, okay, so whatever. So again, I wanted more plants or flowers and stuff, so I put the big flower picture in there. I thought that was a nice touch to add in a little bit of that as well. Check my funds, make sure I was okay. Put a couple more windows in, and had only a little bit of money left. Thought maybe a stereo, but no. So instead, I was looking at clocks. Clocks didn't really kind of do it for me there, but I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna put in central heating and air and a ceiling fan because I live in Texas. And it's hot, so you definitely want to be able to climate control. So I felt the build kind of turned out well, and hopefully you liked it too. So there you have it. That was my build for my multi-week IPG Sims 4 challenge build for week 1, which was, again, the living room. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it inspires you to do it. And if you want to do the challenge along with us, feel free. Make a video of yourself. You can just put music behind it if you want to, or just put no sound. It's okay. You don't have to necessarily explain your video like myself. It's always fun if you do, though. You get that little extra touch into it. Make sure to upload it with the hashtag IPG Sims 4 challenge to make it easy for me to find. And if you do, next time I stream, we might pull it up, take a look, and enjoy your entry into the IPG Sims 4 challenge. Coming up for next week's challenge, if you want to know what that is, down in the description will be a link to our Discord where we post the official rules. That should be coming out either on Thursday the 23rd or Friday the 24th. Stop by, get the next challenge, enjoy a little bit of time with us, and keep on simming. Very much appreciate you watching the video. If the video was entertaining enough to you and I've earned it, go ahead and hit the like button for me, maybe even subscribe. Otherwise, be great to each other. It only takes one act of kindness from every person, just one per day. If we all did one, the world would change overnight.